I have to come out and say, the Nations League has to be the most underappreciated tournament in world football right now. I mean, seriously, it has everything a football fan is asking for, from great teams, great players, and intense and fun matches, and most importantly, awesome storylines. I remember when the first Nations League tournament was created around like 8 years ago, and a lot of people were hating on it, and I won't lie, I was included as one of those haters. I really saw it as a glorified friendly and just UEFA trying to squeeze out every last penny they can out of football. But as time went on, and especially this most recent edition of the tournament, has completely changed my whole perspective on this whole thing. The Nations League replaced a time slot where they would usually be boring friendly matches, like Portugal versus Estonia or some random nation, which they would batter like 5-0. Overall, no one would really care about this. There was nothing on the lines, the fans were not there wholeheartedly, and the players would be heavily rotated and trying new things, as overall it was kind of a waste of time. But with this new format, each European team faces other nations which are on the same level relatively. I mean, just take a look at Nations League B, and in Group 1 you have the Czech Republic, Georgia, Ukraine, and Albania. This group was super fun to watch unfold, and all of these teams have been making waves recently. And not to mention that, but we also have underdog stories that remind us what football is truly all about. Like if we take our eyes and go down to Nations League D, where San Marino is able to grab their first victory in literally years. And not only that, but they get promoted to Nations League C in a truly lovely story. But passing all of that, and going to Nations League A part of the tournament, well, it's much more difficult to win than a lot of people are thinking. I mean, you have to go against Europe's elite. I'm talking about teams like France, Spain, Portugal, Germany. It's not like it's a cakewalk to win this competition. And sure, some countries may not take it as serious, like when Kevin De Bruyne came out and said that he didn't really care or like the tournament at all. But honestly, I think that's because the tournament is just so new. There's only been 3 winners and it's only been held 4 times. So as the years progress and time goes on, people are generally going to start taking it more serious. It's going to have more prestige. I mean, right now it's only in its early phases. I mean, I know I'd rather watch this than some meaningless friendly that would take its place. And honestly, I'd like to think about it as the Carabao Cup of international trophies. And for the people that say that this trophy is harder to win than a Copa America, well, honestly, I could kind of see where they're coming from. I mean, take Portugal, led by Ronaldo's path to the final. They had to get out of a group with Croatia, Scotland, and Poland. These teams are definitely not bad ones by any stretch of the imagination. They then had to beat a tricky side in Denmark in the quarterfinals, one of the most historic national teams of all time in Germany, then going to beat the reigning European champion Spain in the final, and I mean, it's not like these guys are playing their B or C team. Everybody here is giving it their all. And comparing it to 2024's Argentina run, we could really see that they faced off against Peru, Chile, and Canada in the group stage. I think that Portugal's Nations League group is harder, to be honest. And then they would beat a respectable Ecuador in the quarters, Canada again in the semis, and then dispatching a tricky Colombia side in the finals. Like, sure, I'm not going to sit here and say that these teams are terrible because there are truly some good teams in there like Colombia, and we all know how the South American atmosphere could get. It's definitely a very important tournament, and there's a lot of heritage behind it. And I'm definitely not going to say that the Copa America means less than a Nations League because, in all honesty, I don't think it does, but the Nations League isn't as bad as people are trying to make it out to be. And just calling them glorified friendlies is honestly a bad take. And we actually had very interesting matchups and storylines that I was going to get to, and this Nations League in particular was super fun to watch. If we all remember that semi-final against France and Spain, where Yamal would score a brace and the game would end in a 5-4 thriller, this one was so fun to watch, and seeing the Spanish youngsters and Yamal talk in an interview throwing shots at Dembele saying that if they want to decide the Ballon d'Or on one match, then he's ready for it. And then the crazy final matchup between Portugal and Spain, where everyone was questioning if a 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo can keep up and impact such a big game, or will the new prodigy in Lamine Yamal and his story with the national team for good? And the answer is, Ronaldo still can. He picked up his 3rd international trophy in Portugal's history and scored a goal while doing so. I mean, you really can't ask for much more. And I don't think you could call yourself a football fan if you didn't feel even slightly happy after seeing Ronaldo lift his first trophy in years and looking at what it just meant to him as he was in tears after the final whistle. And even though I do agree that it's a great tournament that's underrated, I do have to say, I don't think that we should be giving out Ballon d'Ors to the winner of this. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying that Yamal should win the Ballon d'Or if he wins it, or Dembele should win the Ballon d'Or if France wins it. I don't think that this should really impact the Ballon d'Or rankings that much either. I mean, I already said in a previous video that Yamal isn't ready to win the Ballon d'Or yet, and I saw a lot of people online saying that if you win the Nations League, it's a lock to win it. But even if Dembele and France won it, that wouldn't change anything for me. I mean, it shouldn't be held in the same regard as winning a Euros or a World Cup, obviously. I mean, unless somebody has a standout performance. Just like we've seen Nuno Mendes and Vitinha. They're the only two players I could say that their Ballon d'Or chances have improved, and they'll definitely be higher up in the rankings. Anyways, going back to the tournament, I think it's perfect as it's balanced and lets the nations on the same caliber play against each other, which will always result in good matches, and is also a good stepping stone for less prominent nations like Turkey, Poland, Denmark to get their hands on international silverware. I mean, it's not like any of them are going to win the World Cup anytime soon, but for this, they might have a chance, albeit a small one, to bring home some silverware. So yeah, I think the Nations League is massively underrated, but I'd like to hear what you guys think. Is Ronaldo back in the GOAT conversation? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.